Please take note of the following reminders. First, stay safe by observing the safety and health protocols implemented by the government. Second, make sure to have your notes, your pen, and modules upon watching this video lesson. And third, you may pause this video from time to time to master everything to be discussed in this lesson.
Hello, my dear students. I am your teacher Raymar, and welcome to our Mathematics 9 teaching lesson for quarter 2. In this video lesson, you will learn new things about the beauty of mathematics in our daily lives, with the most essential learning competency to solve problems involving variations. Specifically, at the end of this video lesson, you are expected to learn how to solve problems that involves direct variations.
To begin, let us have a short drill. You are going to determine whether the relationship between two given variables is direct variation or inverse variation. Number 1. Number of hours you work and the amount of your paycheck. That's right. The answer is direct variation. Number 2. The number of laborers and the number of days to do the job. That's right. That is inverse variation. Number 3. The speed of a car and the distance traveled by a car. You got it right. That is direct variation. Number 4. The speed of a car and the travel time. You're correct. That is inverse variation. And number 5. The number of electrical appliances and the cost of electricity bill. Perfect. That's correct. Direct variation. Very good. Keep it up, my dear students. And now, let us recall our previous lesson. In this activity, you are going to translate each variation statement into equation. Number 1. The amount of worker's paycheck P varies directly as the number of days D he worked. Your answer is correct. That is P is equal to K times D. Number 2. The distance D traveled by a car varies directly as its speed S. You're also correct. The answer is D is equal to K times S. Number 3. The cost C of electric bill varies directly to the number of electrical appliances A. You've got it right. That is C is equal to K times A. Number 4. The height h of an object is directly proportional to its mass m. You're correct. The answer is H is equal to K times M. Number 5. The cost C of fish is directly proportional to its weight W in kilogram. Awesome, you've got it right. The answer is C is equal to K times W. Well done, my dear students. Good job. So now, you are ready to our next lesson. Ormoc City is abundant with pineapples. In fact, the largest pineapple plantation in Ormoc is located in Barangay Hibunawan and Barangay Nueva Vista, with an area of 210 hectares. The Ormoc's Queen pineapple is famous for its sweetness, which made it the most popular icon of the city. But aside from pineapples, our city of Ormoc is also abundant in cassava, or locally known as balanghoy. Are you fond of eating cassava? Have you tried to prepare a cassava recipe with your family? Ormocanons are fond of eating and preparing different cassava recipes, such as the cassava cake, the inday-inday, putong balanghoy, and the cassava roll. Which among these cassava recipes is your favorite? In this video lesson, we are going to discuss how to solve problems involving direct variation. And for you to understand the lesson well, we will use these cassava-based recipes as examples. Are you ready? Let's begin. Let us have this activity. If a kilogram of cassava can make 60 pieces of inday-inday, how many inday-inday can be made with 5 kilos of cassava, 2 kilos of cassava, 1/2 kilo of cassava, and 1/4 kilo of cassava? And now, let us draw a table of values to picture out the situation and help us find the answers. Observe this table of values, presenting the independent variable, which is the number of kilos of cassava, such as 5 kilos, 2 kilos, 1/2 kilo, and 1/4 kilo, and the dependent variable, which is the number of pieces of inday-inday. Remember, the problem states that a kilogram of cassava can make 60 pieces of inday-inday. So, the number of pieces of inday-inday are 300, 120, 30, and 15, respectively. How do we get that? That's right. We simply multiply 5 by the number of pieces of inday-inday per kilogram, which is 60. So the product is 300. Then, multiplying 2 by 60, the product will be 120. And then, multiplying 1/2 by the constant 60, the product will be 30. That's right. And then, multiplying 1/4 by the constant 60, the answer will be 15. That's correct. Do you follow? Good job, my dear students. And now, let us analyze the concepts involved in this activity by answering the questions that follows. First, what happened to the number of pieces of inday-inday when the number of kilos of cassava decreased? Yes, very good. As the number of kilos of cassava decreased, the number of pieces of inday-inday also decreased. Next, question number 2. What will happen to the number of pieces of inday-inday if the number of kilos of cassava will increase? Awesome, you got it right. As the number of kilos of cassava will increase, the number of pieces of inday-inday will also increase. Next, question number 3. What can you say about the relationship between the number of pieces of inday-inday and the number of kilos of cassava? Very good. The number of pieces of inday-inday varies directly to the number of kilos of cassava. In short, they are proportional to each other. Question number 4. What variation is established in this situation? Perfect. The answer is direct variation, since the number of kilos of cassava and the number of pieces of inday-inday varies directly to one another. Using the concept of direct variation, we can solve real-life problems by just following the 3 simple steps below. Step 1. Express the direct variation in equation form. Step 2. Find the constant of variation, or K. And step 3. Solve or find the correct answer. Let us have this example number 1. If a kilo of cassava, or C, can make 60 pieces of inday-inday, or I, how many inday-inday can be made with 12 kilos of cassava? Let's do step 1. To do this, we need to identify the variables involved in the problem. And these are number of kilos of cassava and number of pieces of inday-inday. Remember that the two variables are directly proportional to one another. Thus, we can say that the number of pieces of inday-inday varies directly to the number of kilos of cassava in equation that is I is equal to K times C. Next, step 2. Find the constant of variation, or K. To find K, we need to use the derived equation I equals K times C and substitute the given values of a kilo of cassava for variable C and 60 pieces of inday-inday for variable I. Hence, the equation will be 60 equals K times 1. By simply multiplying K times 1, the value of K will be 60, or 60 equals K. The step 3 is to solve the problem by answering the question how many inday-inday can be made with 12 kilos of cassava. Using the equation I equals K times C, substitute the obtained value 60 for K and 12 for the variable C. Hence, the equation will be I equals 60 times 12, and the value of I will be 720. Therefore, 720 pieces of inday-inday can be made from 12 kilos of cassava. Do you follow? If you need more time to absorb and clarify something, you may go through the example one more time and pose the discussion detail by detail. And if everything is clear, let us proceed to the example number 2. The number of x varies directly as the number of y. If x is 60 when y is 10, what is x when y is 13? Step 1. Express the direct variation in equation form. Remember, the problem says that the number of x varies directly as the number of y. So in equation, that is, x is equal to k times y. Step 2. Find the constant of variation. Using the derived equation, substitute the given values 60 for x and 10 for y. So the equation will be 60 equals k times 10. To isolate k, simply divide both sides of the equation by 10. And so the value of k will be 6, or 6 equals k. Step 3. To solve the problem and answer the question, using the equation x equals k times y, we substitute the obtained value 6 for k and the given value 13 for y. Multiplying 6 and 13, the value of x will be 78. Therefore, the value of x is 78 when the value of y is 13. Do you follow? Do you understand all the concepts discussed? Have you familiarized the processes involved in our lesson? Very good. You are now ready to the next part of our lesson. To deepen your understanding and skills, get your pen, your paper, and prepare yourself for our practice exercises. There are two problems that you are going to solve, so read and understand each problem carefully. You may pause this video to give yourself enough time for reading, solving, and answering each problem. And remember, do not forget to show your complete solution. Number 1. If 2 kilos of cassava can make 100 pieces of putong balanghoy, how many putong balanghoy can be made with 7 kilos of cassava? Number 2. If n varies directly as m, and n is 36 when m is 3, what is n when m is 8? Are you done? If not, review the questions, pause this video, and review your solution. And if you are done, let us see if you got the correct answer. Step 1. Since the number of putong balanghoy varies directly to the number of kilos of cassava, we can express the equation as P is equal to K times C. Step 2. To find K, we substitute the values of P and C from the given condition. So we have 100 equals K times 2. Then dividing both sides by 2, we get 50 equals K. Step 3. To solve for P, we substitute 50 for K and 7 for C. Then the product is 350. Therefore, 350 pieces of putong balanghoy can be made from 7 kilos of cassava. Very good, my dear students. Now let's proceed to exercise number 2. Since n varies directly as m, we can express the equation as n is equal to k times m. And to solve for k, we simply substitute the values from the given condition. So we have 36 is equal to k times 3, and dividing both sides by 3, the value of k is 13, or 13 equals k. And to find the value of n, we will substitute the given values k, which is 13, and m, which is 8, and the product is 104. Therefore, n is 104 when m is 8. Perfect! Well done, my dear students. I hope that you feel great while doing the practice exercises. Remember that accomplishing one's work is already a great achievement. And before we go further, let us summarize everything that you have learned in this video lesson. There are two questions that we need to give emphasis. First, when can you say that a real-life problem involves direct variation? We can say that a problem involves direct variation when the quantities or variables involved in the problem are directly proportional to one another, meaning both quantities are increasing or both quantities are decreasing. And the problem uses clue words like varies directly. Second question, how do you solve problems that involve direct variation? Yes, we can solve problems that involve direct variation by following three simple steps. First, express the direct variation in equation form. Second, find the constant of variation, or K. And third is solve. And by the way, if you discovered a different way in solving such problems, do not hesitate because it's a good sign that your knowledge and skills are developing and someday you might be the mathematician of the next generation. So keep it up, my dear student. And now for your assessment, take note of the following directions. Number 1, find a partner. Number 2, solve the following problems with your chosen partner. Number 3, show the complete solution and write it on a clean sheet of paper. And number 4, have a picture of your solution and answer, then send it through my messenger account. For your assignment, work in groups according to your location with at most 5 members. Formulate a real-life problem about food and products that is popular in your barangay that involves direct variation. Solve the problem you formulated and submit your group output in a PowerPoint presentation through our Messenger group chat. Your group output will be assessed using the rubric with the following criteria: MOT problem formulation, accuracy, working with others, explanation, and neatness in organization. Each criteria will be scored with 1, 2, 3 scale, 1 being the lowest and 3 as the highest.
And that ends our video lesson. I hope you enjoy and learn a lot of things about our lesson. For further questions and clarifications, you may contact me through my messenger account or contact number that flash on the screen. See you next time. Always remember, pray to God and stay safe.